So, welcome to Meet the Headliners, number 3. Yes, Craig David. How you doing, Craig?
Good, man. How's things?
Yeah, thank you so much for doing this, letting us into your studio time.
Pleasure, man. Trust me.
So you're busy kind of in that little room over there with all the gizmos in it, making a record.
Yeah, we're making the next album. I mean, I've been working on it for about the last year or so, and it sort of found its sort of lane now. I think when you early start off, it was going from this genre to that genre, but now sort of I'm back in the place where I feel it's right. But this place is nice. It's kind of nice, kind of really relaxed, sort of homely kind of feel to a studio.
Yeah, at home with Craig, it feels like.
Nice like it.
So last September, I made my way down to the Bollywood tent at Festival on, I think it was Saturday afternoon, sort of late afternoon, and could hear all this shouting, could see steam coming out of the tent, and walked in, backstage. I was sort of coming in from the backstage, and there was vision in white kind of raving away on the stage, and it was the return of the mighty Craig David, and I think Shy FX had invited you, hadn't he?
Yeah, it was the Party on the Moon stage, and oh man, I was too excited to get on stage because it was actually my first festival. You know what I mean? So I'd never, like back in the day, I never experienced kind of doing festivals because it was kind of either kind of a bit more rock driven or kind of guitar bands.
Your first festival ever where you played?
Ever, because it just was one of those things that there was a period of time when the Born to Do It album and Slick in Your Average just wasn't really the thing at the time. So by the time that I actually got that opportunity, and I was like, oh man, and that TS5 was being born, and it was a new exciting kind of performance for me, and I just went out there and just thought, I'm just gonna just let go, and I just was lost in it because it was freestyling and I was singing and the crowd were going nuts, and it was kind of crazy when you're in a tent like that.
Yeah.
Because you can sort of tell that the festival guys just want to have the best time ever. They're just like, as long as you drop in the right tunes. I can imagine if you drop the wrong ones, that like they would let you know too.
I've dropped the wrong ones in there over the course of the last 12 years.
That's good.
You know about it.
You can work out that that's the one that we're not going to draw for that one anymore.
Where are you all going?
But no, amazing energy in there.
So TS5, I mean, I obviously knew you first time round, fellow Southampton boys for starters, and I was there back in the day. You're back with TS5, that was kind of a launch pad for it back at Festival last year. Yeah. What is the difference between Craig David and TS5?
Do you know what it was? I mean, because I started off DJing before the first album dropped, so I was doing like the whole of the South Coast and stuff, and it was I loved the DJing, but it was one of those things that when sort of quote unquote became an artist and I was releasing sort of singles and stuff, it was one of those things that kind of I wasn't able to sort of to do all of it at the time because I was sort of moving into sort of band territory, and then there was that period where the David Guettas and the Calvin Harrises kind of blew up, and it almost like allowed DJs to be rock stars, you know. And I was like, you know what? I always loved doing this kind of performance. Why can't I integrate it back in? So it really kind of ended up being this party in Miami, like a pre-party for a few friends, which was like 10 friends, a few little shots before we went out, play some music. And it built into this like 100 people coming around to my home, texting, saying, yeah, we're going to TS5 tonight, having to have security on the door and a guest list.
So that was at your penthouse in Miami?
That was in Miami. But weirdly enough, it was no different than what I was doing when I was 16, 17, doing in Southampton.
So it's like a house party, but
totally
it turned into
the same thing, and it turned into
a monster.
Yeah, I wanted to create that house party feel because I felt like a lot of the DJs were like, there was huge EDM DJs that were playing out, and within like the sort of R&B garage and being mixed in a little bit of EDM world, you could play some throwback stuff. Or why could you not just like drop an instrumental and then do like a freestyle in between? And that for me was exciting because I could use the 15 years worth of experience as a performer and DJing, and I was like, that's what TS5 is about, so it's wicked.
Cool, man. So let's talk about Common People, one of the reasons we're here today. So as I said, Southampton boy, proud to be the mighty Saints, and you know, you're coming to the Common in less than a month's time. Yes. Yeah, how's that feel?
I mean, when I got the call up to say that I was actually doing it, I was overwhelmed because I was just like, I've walked through the Common for a large part of my life because I was a Belmore boys school, Belmore boy, and that's changed now. It's not even there anymore. So it's there, but it's like now it's like it's different.
It's just
name.
a blue plaque on the wall. Craig David went to school.
It's funny that because everyone's sort of, there's all different stories from teachers and pupils. People say, yeah, they tell stories differently. Like, yeah, well, I used to do this and teach him. We used to do raps here together. I was like, well, I can't remember even knowing you, but
they're all coming out.
It all comes out the little stories, but you let it go. You know, so let the people have their moment. You know what I mean? But it was like, and all the fairs that were going on in the Common. So to know that, and I used to go to some of the other kind of Party in the Parks and bits and bobs that were kind of going on with some of the radio stations. That was early days of me getting my songs put out. So to actually go back and headline it in front of that place, I just remember so many great memories of trying to get to the front and all the little missions that we do as a little crew to edge our way to get through like thousands of people to get to the front. To actually be on stage, actually performing as a headline act is amazing with TS5 because it's so new and fresh. But I'm still gonna incorporate some of the classic songs that people want. But it's not about just doing a PA show and let me just do like all of my tunes. It's a DJ mixture.
Yeah. And you're not just playing there, you're headlining it. So coming back to Southampton, and we can't forget the beautiful people of Oxford as well, because we've sort of doubled up common people this year. We thought, why let you get away with just doing one date for us? So we're
no, it's a pleasure. The two things that I said like that have always kind of given me the most pleasure is being in the studio, which you're in that environment right now, and going out and performing. That's the only two things I really care about, because you take on a slightly different role as an artist. I feel like in the latter periods of your career, when you realise really what it's about, I've seen my music inspire and motivate people and change people's lives, millions of people around the world, that it's not about me anymore. It's like when I go up on stage, it's about, I'm going to please all these people here and I'm going to have fun doing it. And that's my purpose. That's my journey, to allow music to break barriers and allow it to be that thing that people has a common ground. There's no colour, no creed, no religion. It's just like, bam. That's why I'm going to smash Oxford and Southampton so well.
Yes. That's the message of the common people, I suppose.
That's the vibe.
And Primal Scream, Public Enemy, KTB's going to be there. KTB, I read an interview last night actually where she was saying you'd given her some advice, which was like, you know, just enjoy the journey kind of as much as where you're getting to. And you were saying that off camera before about, you know, festivals, like you're not just looking forward to the big ones or the most important ones. It's like enjoy every minute. And you know, you've been away for a while, you've come back. Is that your kind of philosophy? Is like,
yeah, that's my. I mean, I've kind of seen that over the course of my career. It's like at the start, you want to break out and tell the world how great you are and what your music's about and what you represent. But then you realise it's just about relationships, you know. I'm happy and I can wake up in the morning and I'm healthy, I'm alive, my friends and family are around me, and that's good, that's cool for me, that's all I really need. And then I'm blessed and grateful that I can make music. And every time I get an opportunity to wake up in the morning and create a song that didn't exist in the evening, that for me is like, wow. And then go out and perform it, and then have a crowd sing the words back to you and go nuts to your...
Happy days.
That's life right there.
Yeah. Okay, so we're in the studio in West London. We won't give away anymore. And you're working on your new album, Following My Intuition.
Intuition, yeah.
We're allowed to say it.
Yeah, of course. Totally.
And so you know, the album's coming out at some point this year. What's it all about?
I mean, we're going back to sort of basics in the sense of, I think the first album it captured what I was all about, because when your first album, it's always about everything you're trying to express. So it was R&B and had some garage moments and narrative and being very simple melodies always, because I'm all about the melody. But storylines that people could relate to, that youth culture can touch into, and kind of making it in a way that's not too personal, so you can feel like it actually was written about you or for you. And so I've gone for the same approach for this, where it's amalgamating all those styles, but at the same time keeping it 2016, 2017. Yeah. I mean, it's going to drop around October this year.
Okay.
So I'm ready for that. Yeah, I'm having fun with it, man. Born to Do It came about without us we weren't making Born to Do It. We were just making songs. I was making rewinds coming out, just thinking, oh man, I can't wait to play this in a club. And then I got the opportunity to like play that at festival. Yeah. And man, like 15 years later, you're playing a tune and the crowd are going nuts like it's the first time. And I'm seeing kids who are like 14, 15-year-olds doing Instagram posts on their way to school saying, oh man, have you heard this rewind tune? Man, this guy Craig David, he's sick. It's new artist that's coming out. Yeah. Yes, new artist is coming out, just.
Yeah. Well, you're looking just as young. But I mean, that's one amazing thing is you went away for quite a while and then you came back. And so how do you deal with that people are kind of think you're a new artist, and obviously us guys kind of know you from old.
Yeah.
You know, you just roll with that, and
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful to see two generations having this sort of common denominator of when the bass line drops, being able to talk about a song. Some talking about garage as if it's the first time them hearing it.
Yeah.
Some people who grew up with my music being able to say, oh, it sort of takes them back to that sort of place where maybe a little bit of nostalgia, but also sounding still fresh, where they're like, oh, some of the best days in your 20s where you just feel you're like strong and fearless. So for me, I'm seeing this hybrid, and it's a beautiful thing to see. I've never experienced that before because people have talked about it, but it's like a 15-year sort of cyclical thing where even the music now is late 90s R&B. Dance music is sampling a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, I hear like 99 Souls, like the Brandy and Monica. There'll be kids who are hearing it for the first time, like, oh, this is sick. And they're saying, well, that's Brandy and Monica. And they'll be like, I don't really know who or what that song is, you know?
It's like when we were listening to Public Enemy in the 90s and sampling James Brown or whatever, and we thought that's a wicked sound, but he didn't realise it was James Brown.
There you go.
Yeah, it's just going round.
And something like that, my dad, we'd have not arguments, but there's always that kind of purist thing and ownership where I'd be like, oh, this is a great song. And he'd say, yeah, but you know that like there's a Notorious B.I.G. song called One More Chance. The remix uses a DeBarge break. Yeah. And he's like, oh yeah, but the DeBarge is the original. I'm like, well, cool. I don't really care, to be honest. Like, this one, and then there'll be a new one by Ashanti. We'll do the next one, and then someone argue with me and say, yeah, but it's not Notorious B.I.G. It's Ashanti. And you're like,
yeah, we don't care. We just like the
music. Just play the tune.
Amazing collaboration you've done with Blonde. You're working with KTB. You know, is it different this time round? I mean, obviously you've been working a lot in Miami and elsewhere all the time. But, you know, is it different vibes now, technology and the way that people are working?
I'd say that the only climate change within the music scene is that social media and the way that music's distributed and people hearing it. The one thing that has sort of maintained and really hasn't changed at all is 1 3-minute song can change your life. Do you know what I mean? If you've got that melody in a verse that's right and it hits that chorus and gives you that feeling, then when you're hearing that on radio and you're hearing it on TV, it's really exactly the same as it was back in the day.
Yeah.
It's just that now you can add a bit of Twitter in there, and which is actually an amazing tool because some of the connections you can get through that and artists talking to artists directly is amazing. Yeah. And for new artists, YouTube has been amazing to actually put your music out and possibly do a cover and it goes viral and then people are interested in you. So the rounds of doing the locals down in Southampton, it's still, for as a purist, I think built up my skills to be able to do these performances, but it's a lot easier now. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So things have changed, but I think the main thing, great songs.
Okay, cool. Right, we don't want to take up too much more of your time. You're kind of looking pretty buff.
Thanks,
we
man.
know that you have a punishing kind of schedule.
Something.
Is that a big thing for you? Like kind of keeping fit, keeping yourself.
Keeping fit. That would definitely be the word, because I think before I was kind of like training, like trying to put on loads of muscle and kind of on a mission. But I found that actually it's just being healthy. It's being able to have a balanced lifestyle where it's not having to think about you're on a diet or I've got to go to the gym today. It's just like you wake up, you're brushing teeth. You're like, I'm going to go do a quick little workout, do some cardio. I'm going to try and keep the food healthy. And then if you want to go and have like Five Guys or a pizza with your mate, then enjoy, because otherwise you don't socialise. You're such on a 100% health freak. You got to meet people. You got to enjoy life.
Balance.
You know what I mean? Balance, of course, man.
There you go, kids. Keep raving, but
yeah,
bit of that as well.
A little bit of that's always a good look.
Yeah. So you've already been going 17 years. Is that right? 17 years.
Yeah. 99.
And you've pretty much nailed the whole thing, and you've come back this huge second coming. And where next? What is left to conquer, Mr. Craig David?
Do you know what? To be honest, it goes back to that thing of enjoying the journey and not worrying about the destination. And this is not just to hype it because of doing Common People, but I'm actually just so excited that I'm going to be headlining Common People in my hometown of Southampton. I mean, what more could I ask for? I mean, I've experienced number ones. I've played arenas. I've travelled the world. I know the feeling of putting out singles and albums and then just going crazy. I mean, but I'm experiencing it all over again. And I felt that with small pivotal moments along the way, one being best of all, and of just seeing people like, man, we're into this. Like, and without it kind of being like a nostalgia thing, just like, what is this kind of TS5 thing? And we're into it. And I'm just sort of feeding off that energy. I just want to enjoy every moment, and I'm just like proper hyped about it. It's like, I'm good that I'm in a studio today. Let's make some music and let's get on stage and just let the people have a good time.
We like that enthusiasm. So if a lot of people are tapping you up for guest list yet for Common People?
Oh, people tap me up all the time. It's just the way that people tap you up, yeah? They sort of do some pleasantries, say hi, how are you? Yeah, what have you been up to? Leave it a bit, a couple of days. Then hit you back, oh yeah, cool, oh man, are you going to be down in Southampton soon? Yeah, do that, leave it. then hit you up maybe like a few days or like, oh, you know, I was going to come through Common People, I'm trouble getting like one of the tickets. And then you like might get in. When it comes off the bat, hey bro, I just heard you like you're on main stage, you got any tickets? It doesn't quite, doesn't finesse me, you know, just, it's like, you know, just got to talk, finesse me, bring me in a little bit, tease me in a bit, and then I'll fall for the bait, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I've hooked up as many people as I possibly can, but for me, I just want to get on stage and just do the thing.
We're going to take you through an open top bus tour of Southampton before you go on.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Collecting people
Holding
as you
like,
go around.
with the Southampton team, just like going nuts for it, it'd be amazing.
Okay, man, just quick fire questions.
Okay, man.
What's it like having 2 first names?
It's amazing. You boss life with 2 first names, this is the way.
What's your favourite day of the week?
Monday.
Favourite post-party feed? Are you a kebab man?
Not huge on a kebab, man. If you've been drinking, the kebab will go down extremely well. But to be honest, I would if I've got a nice little prepared chicken salad at home, I will bang that down one time after a good show. You know what I mean?
It's a chicken salad, man.
Yeah,
okay. Favourite Public Enemy song?
Don't Believe the Hype.
Good. Lasers or glitter cannon?
Lasers, man. Yeah, the glitter cannon's sort of old school, which is nice, kind of keeps sort of retro, but the lasers.
Just so we know we got your rider right for.
Yeah, get the lasers off, but not too nuts like. From the EDM ones, it's like crazy, don't you know, using on stage. We'll still keep it a performance, you know what I mean?
Okay. Bowl of cereal or full English?
Full English is pretty good, can't go wrong with that.
Headliner glory or secret set shenanigans?
Headliner glory, man. Jump up on it and boss that.
Champagne or a pint?
Champagne.
Will you be down the front for Corrupt FM show in the Big Top at Common
Bro,
People?
I'd love to be down the road. You never know what might happen, you know, you might just end up and they're like, oh, yo, great, come up, and then it all of a sudden kicks off and freestyles happen. That's what happens at festivals.
And last but not least, how many pairs of trainers have you got?
I haven't counted recently, but about 100 pairs.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean...
How many do you think you wear during your set at Common People?
I'm going to probably keep it down just to one. Just keep it just like that
Keep
normal
simple.
kind of, yeah, you've got 2 feet, just put those shoes on and enjoy yourself. Like.
Stupid question,
That's
great
all good.
answer.
Have you got a jacket that's got 2 sides? That's the question.
I do have a jacket.
See, a man who wants that's a man who's got style. He
I've
knows
only got
that.
3 pairs of trainers.
But that's what I mean, you've got to balance it out. I love that, bro. It's sick.
Still got Festival mud on these. I also forgot, just quickly before we go, I don't know why, but I've got into this thing of when we do meet the headliners, I give whoever the artist is a record.
Wicked, man.
And obviously, sadly, Prince passed away last week. So I was just up at Rough Trade in West London, and I thought,
wicked, bro. That's really kind of
Prince's
you.
first record. There you go,
bro.
That's a little
super kind of you.
memento.
No, thank you.
Moment, but
really kind
thank
of
you, Craig. We will see you at Common People and Festival main stage Saturday afternoon.
Thank you again.
Respect.
Yes, oh man, get ready. Trust me, it's gonna go off differently.